I'm a happily married woman, and I tell women all the time not to get married.
Even people in happy marriages are not recommending marriage. This is serious. Because normally when you see a woman come to talk about don't get married or they tell you they do not recommend marriage, most of the time the women are single. And you see the comment section of men or other women say that you don't get it because you're not married yet, or even when somebody that has gone through a lot and she's married and she's not happy in her marriage and she's like, I don't recommend marriage, you'd be like, oh, because you chose wrong. But now you're getting women that chose right. They have a very good partner, supportive partner, they are happy, they have the village, take care of their children, everything is there, everything you ever dreamed and hoped for in a marriage, they have it like that. So you're one of the luckiest women out there. But then they are not recommending marriage. Let me show you all this clip, then we'll come back and discuss.
I'm a happily married woman, and I tell women all the time not to get married. You know why? Because I was 24 when I got married. I was a baby. My frontal lobe was not fully developed. I didn't know anything. I got fucking lucky. Okay? I got lucky, and I've been transparent about that from the get-go. Because statistically speaking, we know how women end up in most cis-het relationships, okay? It ain't good for them. It's not good for them. I got lucky, okay? I got lucky. At 24, you think I knew what I was looking for in a good husband and a good life partner? And who would eventually be a good father to my children? No, I sure didn't. But I can look back 14 years ago as a woman, as a married mother, who has a great marriage, who has an equitable partner. I can now tell women, hey, listen to the married woman. Listen to the happily married woman. If I'm happily married and I'm telling you, don't do it, it's not worth it, what do you think an unhappily married woman is going to tell you? It's not. For most women, it's not worth it. Because for most women, you will end up doing the majority of the domestic labor and the child care. You'll probably still end up working. And then you'll outgrow your husband. That is the unfortunate truth of it. You want to sit here and tell women that they can't share this information to other women because they're married? Shut up, dude. Okay? You want to listen to a single person? This is the same thing. Like, if I was single and telling women this, you would tell me I was bitter and single and lonely. I'm not. I've been happily married for 12 years, and I wouldn't recommend it. Because that's coming from a very, very privileged place. Because most women don't have what I have, okay? So listen to the married women, the happily married women that are telling you, don't do it, babe. It ain't worth it. Because your chances are you're not going to get lucky like me. That's just, it is what it is. But don't sit here and say, we can't teach about patriarchal things if we're married. Don't. This comment came from a video where I'm telling women, I don't recommend marriage and motherhood. And I say that as a happily married woman and a mother of 2 children. And what this commenter and so many men in this comment section don't understand is that I'm saying this with all of the privilege that I have, with an amazing, supportive, participative husband that I have, the support that I have of my own family to help me with our children. I'm saying that with all of that it's still so hard. That it's still so hard when you have a well-paying job, a supportive husband, a support system to help you with your children. It's still so hard. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that even with all of the things that are supposed to make it good and make it easier and make it better, I still can't recommend it. Because even after my experience, which has been a fairly decent one, I cannot recommend it because there are still obstacles and hurdles and brick walls set up to make it extensively harder for women. That's what I'm saying. That's why you listen to the happily married people when they're telling women, don't get married and don't have children. Because it's still that hard.
So either you choose right or you choose wrong. Marriage itself doesn't benefit women. Marriage as an institute doesn't benefit women. So either you're choosing the right partner, or when people tell you, oh, because you didn't choose right, or if you had married so person, things would have been different, you're still going to face the same thing that you faced with the wrong one. Because marriage itself, it takes a lot of work, and a lot of people cannot endure all those kind of work. And when it comes to we women, we are expected to do a lot of things. We are expected to take in a lot of things. We are expected to endure a lot of things. And the kind of work that women are expected to do is like modern slavery. Just because they've gotten married to you, you must do the cleaning, do the cooking, do almost everything. And when your man is supporting you and probably you have a maid and somebody helping you, you see them saying, oh, you're lucky. They consider you as you're in a good marriage because you have somebody helping, your man is not complaining if there's no food in the house, you're not cooking 24/7, you're not cooking fresh meal every day. People tend to tell you, oh, you're lucky. Or you have a man that stays with the child, both of you have together. Sometimes, not all the time, he just stays with them and probably they see you alone without your baby and be like, where's your baby? And be like, oh, the baby is at home with the father. And be like, oh my God, you have a good man. It's because they expect a lot of things from women, but little from men. A man can do so many things, so many crazy things, but they expect you as a woman to forgive and just, in fact, the kind of work that they expect women to do in marriages, I just feel like this is the reason whereby marriage doesn't benefit women, because after a whole lot of things that you expect women to do, society still expect extra more. So even if you do all those things, that does not mean that you're going to have a good marriage. Let me show you some reaction on this video, then we'll come back and discuss.
This comment came from a video where I'm telling women, I don't recommend marriage and motherhood, and I say that as a happily married woman.
Been such a big talking point in the manosphere recently. Well, they're like, oh my God, well, Mel Hamlet and Paige and this one and that one, they're all still married, so they're telling you not to do it, but they did it. Two things. These women are the exceptions to the rule, and they're having the kind of marriages men are railing against. These women who are like saying, okay, I'm in equitable marriage. My partner's done his work unpacking his stuff. He is so great to me in this, and this ways, and I still don't recommend marriage. Men are trying to find something because it's no longer a flex to say, I have a man. That used to be the big thing. Don't listen to those women who are doing the talking because they're going to die single and alone. They're going to be cat women. And now that these women are proved to be in relationships, happily married, but they're still saying to other women, this is not it. Like, yes, it's the exception. I enjoy it. It's nice. But marriage as a whole, marriage as a societal thing has so many flaws, and most women aren't going to get this outcome. Plus, even within this outcome, it's still sacrifice. It's still labor. It's still work. It's still not as pleasurable as living alone. This is the information that the men do not want us to have, because the men who are upset they're losing their labor supply, they're not having an equitable marriage. They are not being equal partners. Otherwise, they wouldn't be so threatened by women telling other women not to participate. They'd be like, well, I'm not affected by that. A good man can always find a partner. They're at a premium. Men who have a lot to offer are a bit more worried about men being decentered or whatever because they know they can compensate. But the men who depend on thankless labor, the men who depend on an unequal division of that labor, the men who are looking for a woman to just be their mommy wife, / bang maid, are shaking in their boots because where else are they going to get this kind of deal? For a one-time payment of a few $100s for a ring, getting free labor worth hundreds of thousands each year for the rest of your life? A house elf and secretary to do whatever you need? plus an S worker, a free incubator for your kids. I mean, actually, the incubator is paying for the privilege. Where else can you get that kind of deal? They're afraid it's slipping through their fingers. So this is the thing you're going to see more and more of. Ad hominem attacks on the kind women who are married who are doing this work. The men are going to try to convince you that they're trying to keep something from you. They want to be the only ones who are married, and that's why they're telling you not to do it, or that they're lying, that their marriages are really miserable and unhappy. Because men are meant to lead, men are the head. So you're telling me I can participate in an unequal marriage where a man is the head and I get overworked and I'm not appreciated and I'm unhappy, or I can be in an equal marriage where I'm unhappy, according to these men. Or I can do what the women say and just don't get married. Sounds like an easy choice to me. The men have painted themselves into a corner because the one thing they have never promised is good behavior from a husband. Having the husband is supposed to be your compensation. You're supposed to be satisfied just to be married because you're saved from loneliness. But as more and more women live alone for the first time, because societally, most women were stepping from like college or high school straight into being married. This is the first generation of women to live alone long term. As we see how wonderful it is and how free we are, nobody is going to voluntarily step back into an institution that as a whole most men have promised you you are not going to find joy in. You're supposed to find compensation and fulfillment in your children, which we also know to be a lie. There's love, but there's nothing fulfilling about a lot of tiny menial tasks that must be done over and over each day. Not to mention the physical toll labor and such takes on your body that nobody talks about, or the fact that it can cost you your life, particularly if you are a black woman. Maternal mortality rates are off the charts. But this man didn't even use the right "your," so he's nobody you should be listening to. It's kind of amusing to see how threatened the men are by women taking control of their own future. We aren't going back. That's it. Like and follow for more.
Yes, these men are quick to judge single women when single women come and give you advice on marriage and tell you, I do not recommend marriage. Women, stop getting married to this man. Leave this man alone. Be happy, be single, be child free, and all of that. They always want to attack you and be like, oh, you're going to die alone. You're going to die alone with your cat. They are good at it right now. It's coming from a woman that is married. She's a mom. She has children as well, and she's saying, "I do not recommend marriage." Now, what's going to happen? Like, what? Who are we going to take advice from? I personally feel like if you want to experience something, it's better for you to ask people that are already in that thing and tell them that, ask them, how is this thing? Do you recommend it or not? Ask people that are already in it, right? Most people will tell you the real truth. In fact, if you ask them some deep questions, some of them might want to lie to you at first. For example, mothers, if you want to give birth and you're trying to ask mothers that are miserable, you can clearly say that they are miserable. Some miserable mothers will tell you, just have children, they are a blessing. You see them, the next you see them screaming and shouting at their children. You see them, exhausted, looking tired. And they'll still be telling you, advising you to give birth. No, that's the best you can ever do to your life. But they are showing you something different. If you ask the right people, if you ask the right question, you will get the right answers from these people. So if you want to get married and you feel like you'll be very careful to select the right one, ask people that you think that they selected the right one, if they encourage or they recommend getting married, women to get married. I just feel like the best thing for a woman to do, if you want to be happy, in fact, there's this study that is going around that women are happier when they're alone. They tend to strive more when they live alone. Women that are living alone are happier than the ones that are living with men. And the ones that lived with men are now living alone. They're like, why was I even living with a man before? And the ones that have lived alone and start living with men, they had to run away because living with men as a woman is another level of stress entirely. And we women, once we are stressed, we develop a lot of illness. A lot of things happen to us once we are stressed. Studies have shown that once women that are alone are happier. They tend to be happier than the ones that are living in the same house with men. Anyway, you guys, are you in a happy and healthy relationship? Would you recommend marriage even though that you're happy? You're part of the luckiest women that are enjoying their relationship, enjoying their husband, that picked the right one. Let us know down in the comment section if you recommend marriage. Let's have conversation down in the comment section. Respectfully, as always, Sugar Maya Davis, and thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this one. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next one, guys. Bye.